I don't know, it's right here, I just have never heard this Fund 209. Have you?
Why didn't it?
Oh, okay, all right.
The name should have been.
Is that what they're all?
The buildings and grounds.
I've got my list here.
Is that cemetery fund,
209.
right?
Bingo.
204
We have a
would be
winner.
road.
That's cemetery.
I don't know why I didn't print that.
Well, it's on the top of the page.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
thank you.
there you go.
Right, this whole page is cemetery.
Okay,
Because I was looking at,
I was too, I was like.
I'm looking at department things.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Brenda. This is
You're welcome.
cemetery.
It always takes extra eyes.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued now about that.
The road fund?
Yeah, because I know.
Although I did learn the dangers of, you can make all the changes in the system as you want. If you forget to hit save at the bottom of the page,
Right,
you have to
right.
redo it. I hope that's not what happened here. I'll find out.
The road fund I see on page 4, appropriations transfer out.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, because what I was saying is I thought I had made that
The
amount
change to,
17,000 and lowered it.
right.
And then I was even thinking of lowering it altogether. Now, the road improvements expense, the 580, actually is one that I raised a little bit today. So it shouldn't have a drastic impact on the 17,000.
Boy, wouldn't it be nice, though, it really would be nice to see it also by what you're spending it on. Attorney fee column, you know what I mean?
And then another thing that I wasn't able to get prepared to share, I mean, some of you have seen some of these, and we should think about, I should think about maybe putting this into some other kind of summary document, but all of us should be seeing like what I got from Craig Atwood with his recommendations.
Yeah.
From parks and from
Right.
the engineer.
Because I've got it all here, and then
Yeah.
I was going to copy a lot of it, and I realized I've written all over this, and I don't have the original. But and then there's one. There's one item. I was hoping maybe someone would attend today that could shed some light on it. I'm not entirely convinced that I understand all of the implications of the, and maybe Cindy can help, the lead pipe replacement.
Yeah.
Because I'm told that the inventory is to start by January of 2020, but
That being delayed because they want it measured in a different way.
They're getting a lot of pushback because as an unfunded mandate.
right.
And we did the preliminary study. Saugatuck City hasn't even started yet, and we're going to have lead pipes.
Yeah.
We were going to have a lot fewer lead pipes.
Right, yeah, I've heard that, but
And galvanized is the other one that has to be replaced. So there is some engineering that needs to be done on that. I understood that maybe the city, the township, and Douglas were all going to coordinate that through Cal Lake as something that we could maybe do as an economy of scale.
like the master meter project.
Yeah, kind of like that. I I don't know if that will come to fruition. I don't think there's a lot of agreement from Douglas. That they want to participate, but the next step will cost maybe $5,000 to do the study, and then the state has to put together the forms that we're supposed to fill it out on, and they're dragging their feet, or can't get it done, I don't know what.
Okay.
But
Do you know, do they actually like test your water, or do they dig up a pipe? I mean, how does that
do
work?
both.
Okay,
First they look at the records.
okay.
The first thing I do is look at the permit records, because you're supposed to, when you issue a plumbing permit for a new sewer or new water, you're supposed to get an inspection that details where the pipe is and what material it was made out of and what size it is. So that's the first thing, and I think they've done that really high-level view. Next thing they have to do is confirm all the ones that they couldn't tell. That there either was no record or there was conflicting information. And that's the next step that we'll have to do. And I understood that Cal Lake was going to try to coordinate that with 3 communities. But again, the personalities don't always, they sometimes get in the way.
Well, Daryl seemed to be more of the mind that it was delayed and not a major expense for next year.
Right.
I saw some notes that Natalie took that probably are older, that, you know, had some high figures, but
Yeah.
I think I feel better, thank you for that, because, again, I think there's sufficient engineering.
I believe, did we vote on that the initial 5,000?
Total, or is it, I mean, our contribution to a study, or?
That initial, like,
I don't-
study, I feel like we did. I think
I
we
think
need to go
that you
back and
have
review.
that's already
Several
been
months
paid
ago.
for, yeah.
Right,
But that was, we did that this year.
I think
Trying a
so.
new house.
Right.
Okay. That rings a bell. That's good. So we don't have to pay it again next year.
Right.
Well,
But it
you
sounds
might
like
have to
things
pay
are in
for
a
the
holding
next
pattern.
step, but it's not gonna be that terrible much. So they just have to
Okay.
confirm the ones that they couldn't tell, and
Okay.
sometimes that will be testing the water, but probably more often it will be digging it up.
Okay.
Or you can go inside the building sometimes and look where the pipe comes through the wall, and then figure out what it is. You have to get inside, and that's,
Would this be a certain age and older primarily?
I think 1982 was when they outlawed lead pipes and lead fittings and lead solder. So it's stuff that's older than 1982. And I think plumbers were already onto that and stopped doing it before 1982, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All of our infrastructure in the city is going to be lead.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
cities are
1900.
different.
Cities are different
That's
because
what it's good to be
it's
more
older.
Yeah, it's older, yeah. John, do you think how long do you think we'll be? I was gonna suggest a 5-minute, yes.
It depends. Yeah, maybe we should do a break, because we've got the salary discussion.
Yes, you guys okay with that?
The budget.
We normally don't, but it's just the two of you.
And the budget versus actual, it's sort of just gonna be reaffirming the highlights I gave, and I'll repeat them.
Okay, you wanna take just 5 minutes?
All right.
It means I can actually drink my water and not have to be here. Perfect environment.
Yeah, this is great.
We spend a little more time?
Yes. And you are?
I'm Griffin. Nice to meet you.
You work with Frank?
I don't. So I'm from South Haven. I just graduated, finished up my master's degree, so I am interested in local government.
Okay.
Eventually want to be a city manager, township manager or something. So
Fun.
I'm job searching right now and just trying to find constructive uses of my time. I just figured I'd come up and observe for the day, but no, I just interned for Frank.
Okay.
My undergrad at Michigan State. So
Okay.
that's when they mentioned his name earlier. I was like, see, I know him really well.
Yeah.
Are you from the area?
Yeah. I live in the township. I work in the city of Saugatuck.
Oh, great. What do you do?
Planning and zoning.
Sure. Yes, my undergrad was in urban planning, and then just district?
Yeah, I think I got my MPA in 2004,
Okay.
2005.
Yeah, my stepdad's been a city council member in South Haven for a while, so
Okay.
I got hooked on local government pretty early.
Yeah.
and
Brian Doucette,
great guy. Yep.
he's, my husband's cousin,
all,
son-in-law.
Okay. Oh, that's what I love about local government in small towns. Everyone knows everyone. And
We would go to Christmas things or Thanksgiving
Yeah.
things, and he was the funniest crack up guy.
he's neighbors with my grandparents
Okay.
in town. Yep. I know him really well.
no?
No, it feels good to be back in the area again. Being in school for a couple of years and being away, and now it's try to find what the next steps are and if I can stay in the area or what has to happen. So, see, it's an exciting and nerve-wracking time all at the same time. But how long have you worked for the city?
I worked for Saugatuck for just over 3 years, and I worked, retired from Holland after 30 years.
Okay. Oh, great. I know Keith Van Beek there, you managed
yeah.
really well too.
I don't know him.
He came from Ottawa County,
Yeah.
and I was there last summer
Okay.
for a while. Right after he left.
Yeah, that high up leadership is
We got two of those.
really important.
Yeah.
It's reflected in
I went to the
everybody's
council
work
last
ethic.
night, Saugatuck.
Oh.
Did you?
Yeah.
You was in the
Yeah, I
meeting?
did. I
I
didn't
didn't
go.
see you in the picture. Were you?
I was kneeling down next to Jane. Yeah, it looked like I was on the
Don't
floor.
do that.
Yeah.
That'll go right to her head.
Yeah.
All this broad numbers, I just started getting headache.
And I like numbers.
That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
But it looks like a familiar kind of number to me.
Yeah, well, you
That's
see
how they
it all.
did their budget in Holland.
Is yours set up this way? Or is yours
In
set up
Holland, it's this way.
by expenditure? I mean, by
By
type?
department.
By department, okay.
Yeah, if you're gonna pull it out and say how much did we spend on attorney fees for every department, then you have to have a different report. I don't know if it can create a report.
I wonder if it can.
I've never worked in the
Software.
general ledger software, but BSNA is really a great program, really flexible and really comprehensive.
I haven't even been in it. I don't even know if I would be going in it, would I?
Stacy went in it.
I know.
I know, I wanna learn. I'm just gonna
Call
give
me.
you this, just if you want, send me some of your information,
Sure.
okay? We'll keep
For
it.
sure. Thank you.
She called me and she wanted to look up what.
Casey
they
has to
had
run
a copy
herself.
of the
Oh, yeah.
survey.
Appreciate it.
We put
So I
you
walked
in
her
up
through
here.
how
Oh, no, you're all good.
yesterday.
I'm a nerd for this kind of stuff.
Awesome. And what were you saying you did, what did you just do, what was your master's in?
Public administration?
Okay.
Public administration, local government.
Mm-hmm.
It's been different being in Indiana the last couple of years though, because they do everything quite a bit different. So the biggest example is townships in Indiana.
Yeah?
They don't function as general governments like they function
Oh, they
in Michigan.
don't?
Nope, they're really only tax collecting entities
Oh.
and maybe fire protection service.
Oh, that's interesting.
So yeah, it's really interesting. So Michigan tends to have a lot more smaller governments because they've got townships and counties and
School district.
cities and
Right.
villages and yep.
Almost city.
I read one state recently is gonna try to do away. Did you know what I'm talking about?
No, but
With
I know what
township
you're
government,
talking about.
townships in general
I
and
know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That small box government
remember,
that
it's
they're trying
so-
to get away from.
I think it's a Midwest state. Ask John when he'll remember this. John, when we went to that MK conference in Grand Rapids, what did they say about townships? Like Michigan has some, are there some states without?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are, I think 16 states have townships.
Right.
There are none west of the Mississippi. Township, the whole concept was started by Thomas Jefferson. I love that. And they're all mandated the same size.
Yep.
They're all rectangles, even ours,
Right.
even though it doesn't feel like it because of the river and all that. Was it 39 miles?
Yeah, some.
It's a weird history, but the other thing I was throwing out is in Michigan, what was it, 85% of Michigan residents live in a township.
That was,
It's a big, yeah, I have read that somewhere.
And 92% or 94% of our land, public land
Is in the township.
Because most people don't even live in a township.
Right. I know, they call me.
yes.
Now, just in Meridian Township, Okemos is just a neighborhood.
Right, Hazlitt's just a
In
neighborhood.
Meridian,
Valley.
anyone who lives there thinks, I live in the town of Okemos,
Right.
right? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And people here, and then you get into the post offices.
Oh, and then you get the,
Because we have people coming in to vote in the village that we're
Yeah.
federal school districts, you can't vote here.
Well, Meridian Township's a great example because, yes, their government is Meridian Township,
Yeah.
but it's really two separate communities within Meridian Township
Oh,
because
man.
Hazlitt and Okemos view themselves so differently as their own identities. That it's really interesting.
And Meridian just got named like the safest and best township in the country to live in.
Really?
Frank does a really good job up there. They've
It's a cool
they've
place.
got some really good things going on. But they're also a township that functions almost like a city because they are so big and offer so many different services.
In Township Hall,
Yeah, big.
they actually have departments. Because I know
wow.
the treasurer there,
I
he's
see.
got like a staff of 8 and they have their own wing of a building.
What's the
But what's
population?
it's big,
42,000.
Oh, okay, all right.
and I'm sure the
Should we
taxpayers.
reconvene?
Yes, let's read
Oh,
the
right.
meetings. I do have to leave at 3:27.
Oh God, I hope we're done by 3.
I know.
But
I'm
no
just
rush,
saying.
no rush.
The-
Okay, where were we?
Are we moving on to green?
I think
Valerie?
we can,
Yeah?
and again, this is not,
I need my sunglasses.
you can
Are we
ask more
changing?
questions on the pink video, this isn't now or never.
Right.
All right. This is the current schedule of what we pay our staff and our commission people. And again, this was last year's budget, so it says plus 2.2 because that was last year's cost of living increase, and I've proposed 2.8 this year. And I don't know how we want to begin this conversation.
Can I begin with a question?
Yeah,
Supervisor,
are they not here?
I don't, I sent it, and
How could they be in the budget if they're not in the,
they're conspicuously absent here.
So what is up with that?
Who did that? And you know, I'm very aware of the supervisor's elected official pay, so right away, in fact, before this jumped out at me, yeah.
Now that's, so I think it's on that other, I thought this one page would suffice. 'cause
Oh,
Or maybe it's on the.
There is that other page.
there's another
Well,
page?
we know it's
Yes,
17, correct?
well, I can go get it and copy it.
Because the elected pieces of the clerk and the treasurer are.
Yeah,
on
they're
the bottom.
separate,
Yeah,
but
so
not.
why are they on
not-
here alone? I mean, I gotta say, I mean, I don't know how they did this in the past.
Yes,
You didn't prepare this page, this is from last year's.
This is last
right,
year's
no,
budget.
I know,
I don't,
no,
and it was never on
It
there,
was
huh?
never on.
maybe it was a
Bizarre.
secret.
No, it's on that second page that goes with it. I'm gonna go get it because,
I didn't find it in
Good
the
night,
budget.
Brenda.
I have last year's budget.
So it was 17,604.
Where are you now?
Oh, you
Page
found
one.
it?
Oh, you're back on the pink?
Okay.
Page 1 pink?
Let your eyes adjust to that.
Oh, whew. Oh, right.
And then the recommended would be 18. But we would just use this number, the 17,604
Right.
for this, right?
Right.
And
So
then
we were-
the number under that, for the 56, that was probably the
The
manager.
manager,
The
right?
manager.
That would have been Aaron
Mhm.
Okay.
at the time. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
17,600.
So here's the discrepancy too, with the treasurer, right? And was that ever rectified?
What?
What, that the two don't?
I was gonna ask what the deal is with that. Why is there such,
What do you mean? The
The
difference
difference
between?
pay, yeah, it just seems kind of, I don't know, is that typical?
Well, remember who set those salaries?
Right,
Yeah.
right. And in a normal world,
What about Saugatuck? Is there discrepancy with the clerk and the treasurer?
The treasurer gets paid more than the clerk.
Oh. How much, do you know?
I think it's maybe 10,000, but the treasurer has, you know, he's CPA.
Yeah.
yeah, so
It's just the credentials.
there's other criteria that are in the
Okay.
salary state.
Yeah.
It wouldn't necessarily in
Okay.
any place be equal
Uh-huh.
because of
Right.
experience,
Uh-huh.
education, all that other.
But the elected official pay
That's
should be the
different.
same.
It should be it should be.
So right now,
That's really.
Lori, as the administrative clerk gets this, right?
Correct,
Plus the whatever sexton.
correct.
She does not get
The
the,
sexton is.
No, because that includes the elected official pay.
And the sexton,
John
the
gets
sexton pay is not on here.
Correct.
Actually, no.
Is it anywhere in the tank, or it's gotta be 209?
Because even Natalie, didn't know how to read this, she thought I made more than I hardly know.
No, remember?
Yeah.
Because it's all designed to confuse.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
Let's see.
Yeah, if you remember who set those salaries, then it kinda makes sense.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the 50,577 is my board portion
Right.
and my admin.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the math. So
But,
you,
but when I was sworn in, even
Yeah.
Chris and Bill and then Natalie both thought
yeah.
it was that 50,570
What?
plus the, you know, it's like,
How would they not?
nobody knows anything.
Yeah.
And then what, you know,
Oh, that's when it all started going down
Yeah.
Mhm.
that day.
and, yeah,
Can
so,
I ask, just are you, do you remember when you started and they did not pay you for 2 weeks?
yes, quite clearly.
Now, I would like,
I never
I
got
think
over it.
that was unfair and
Yeah.
it should be remedied. Is that something we can discuss at this meeting?
I don't know, Natalie said it's hard to get retro,
I don't think that's
but I
true.
mean,
Well, it's impossible to get retro for the elected official portion, but I haven't read the same for the other.
and I'd have to double check when I say it's all the W-2s, if it was just 2 weeks or more. And it all had to do with that issue that certain people that are no longer with us
Mhm.
thought the elected treasurer fell under the personnel policy of the staff. And if they didn't do 30 hours a week, they didn't get paid.
Right, which we have since read is not the
Yeah.
case,
Yeah.
so,
And had to clock their in and out and all that
right,
stuff.
right.
And then Natalie's like, no, that's not true, you're right. It's state law, you're only required to be in the office X days a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to give you the money you're
Well,
owed.
I mean, I'll look it up,
because,
I've kinda let it go,
We can't
but
really,
we can't vote, or,
No.
right? I mean,
but it's something we could discuss,
I'm happy to look into it.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Because, it got very unpleasant when it was being brought up.
yeah. And again, in light of the fact that we have the supervisor position out, I feel so strongly, and I reread all of the statutory duties today of all 3 positions, I feel strongly about changing the way that the elected official pay is
Up to the supervisor.
constructed. Yeah, well,
Oh, for any,
yeah.
I agree.
it should be balanced appropriately, I think, to statutory duties and maybe other duties as assigned, but I don't think we necessarily have that right now. But the balance, I was rereading again today, and this is, and then you had helped me with that research, and
Yeah.
we'll talk about that at another
MGA
time,
survey, yeah.
but it feels imminent, it feels urgent to me because we need to fill this position soon. So I'm not sure if we should add it to next week's agenda for our regular meeting, because we have to decide before we choose, before we make a selection for that position.
I think we can vote on it today. Anybody correct me if I'm wrong,
Because it's a budget issue?
because it's a budget issue and all of our members are present of the board.
But it wasn't on the agenda and it's a special meeting.
Yeah, which you can't deviate.
You can make additions if all of your board members are present.
That's true.
That's true, you can, that's right.
Sure.
okay, so what were you thinking,
I
the
think-
supervisor?
Well, yeah, let's take them
Let's
individually.
Yeah.
break this down and talk this over.
I don't know if I brought the research.
How come this section, am I missing it?
Sexton is not on here either.
Right, that's what I'm,
That's missing, yes.
and that's misleading because
Mhm.
the deputy clerk is receiving that pay.
Mhm.
And does
Well, that
an amazing job.
Yeah.
That was temporary, I remember.
It was temporary.
Well, that's what was voted on, but it was not handled that way by the people in position at the time.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a temporary hourly rate, and what she got was the salary, permanently. Again, she's doing a great job, but that was not handled properly. Where can I find that quickly?
The section?
Yeah, I should know. It was probably in that page,
The
the
209,
military page,
yeah.
right? 209. So it should be listed.
Don't know. Oh, here's the salary report. I didn't bring the other book I was reading again the statutory duty differences. And, something else I was reading today just really clarified again that supervisory, that the board is, equal is not the word they used, it was a better word in terms of supervising the office, that we are kind of one voice, but we're all in it.
Right.
Definitely not the supervisor.
Oh, yeah.
And I know we all know that,
Right.
but something else I read in one of the MTA books I ordered really even clarified it further,
Okay.
how, important that is. Anyway, if I remember correctly, I don't know why I wrote this one on front, Bertrand Township, population 39,597, supervisor salary 13,500. Across the board, the treasurer and, supervisor across the board, the people in the 50th percentile were 12,600.
No, township commission.
Yes,
Okay.
well, in the MTA survey, so I'm assuming all who report.
Right.
Because we haven't done that yet, have we, John?
We haven't reported.
You will have to do that when we have,
Yeah,
when we get everything
we have people, everyone who plays.
settled.
Can you restate that? I'm sorry.
Yes, so let me give you an idea here. So, 50 percentile for the supervisors, excluding assessing. We don't have one of those. 12,600. Okay? Office of clerk in the 50th percentile is 15,875. Office of treasurer in the 50th percentile is 16,780. That surprised me because, as I've told you, Abby, the clerk's statutory duties, there are a little more, but I would like to see something more equal, or even put the supervisor's salary back where it should be,
Mhm.
and,
Can I ask a question?
yes,
Did you separate that out, or did you talk with anybody at the MTA, and this may be an, uneducated question that I'm not understanding it correctly. Do those figures at all include the administrative duties?
no.
Or is that
I don't-
strictly, is that separated out?
I don't think it includes other duties as assigned, but I could be wrong, and no, I didn't, because I got this right before I left.
But are all other townships doing the split the way we do it?
Oh, I think this is unusual.
That's what
Yeah,
I thought.
Oh,
Right.
I don't think you're gonna, yeah.
So why couldn't we eliminate it,
The split?
What do you mean?
or deal with it?
That would eliminate you having your job.
No,
Is that what you mean? That's not what you mean?
no,
Oh, okay,
I said
sorry.
eliminate the split, because I think the split is just,
What do you mean, the difference in the salaries? What do you mean
I
by
meant
split?
having the salary split in two. Maybe, I thought you all just said it's very unusual to have the clerk and treasurer with two salaries.
what's very unusual is to have a clerk that's elected
Actually working
actually
in it.
do the office
That's-
duties.
That's what's unusual.
That's what's unusual. Usually you have, a clerk who's hired and continues on after the election, and you're the policymakers. You're not the day-to-day workers,
that
so that's
is
what's
possibly
unusual.
accurate.
Yeah, this would be the
That
elected pool,
would
yeah.
be reflective of a situation like ours. Okay.
I mean, we can call and, you know, we don't have to be that drastic. I'm thinking we don't even, it might not even be any kind of a budget change overall. But I think the way the dollars fall should definitely be changed.
Did it say anything in that document about trustees?
I don't remember because honestly I looked more at salary. We have a lot of, like, construction board of appeals, fire board, zoning board, let's see, regular, board of review. We have all kinds of stuff here. It probably is in here somewhere. Okay. Yeah, there's other things that we can definitely look at.
No, because that's one that stuck out to me, is why the trustee per diem is significantly less than the planning commission member.
Oh, that, yeah, so let's see.
And
And
we're
Parks
working really
Commission's
hard.
even smaller, and those parks people,
Oh, they work very hard.
And the recording
Yeah.
secretary is.
I mean, it
So
seems like there
planning-
should be some uniformity here.
So here, this has, planning commission share if they have an annual salary or an hourly rate or a per meeting, like, so the per meeting stipend is 60, a whole day is 90. That's 50th percentile again. Well, all of these positions are above our zoning, all of these other fire board, they're all above ours. That's interesting, because I don't show a straight trustee. I didn't even think of that. This is interesting, because I didn't go to the back half, goes into administrative and office salaries, all that kind of stuff. So. Then again, you know what factors into it, how many people reported? I don't know those figures, and I couldn't find any.
Right, but no, that's
You know,
good to know. All right, well,
so,
any suggestions?
this is a tough one.
Not,
If
if there was a justification, it's long gone, you know, of why.
I agree.
Oh, yeah,
$17,000 for the supervisors to run 17 meetings, that's $1,000 a meeting. I know
Yeah.
he does more than that,
Yeah,
there's more
yeah.
to it involved than that, but that's, I think, way overpaid.
well, and again, they can also have a deputy if they want one.
Well, you have
But
one.
they have to have one, don't they?
Oh,
You don't have to.
Oh, they don't?
Chris had a deputy, Jim Hanson.
Yep, he doesn't
think
have
you
to
two are
have
the
one,
only
he
two
may
that
have one.
No, he was sworn, oh,
No, I mean, they have to by
yes,
law,
right.
yeah.
No, but, and the part of this that I'd like to see rectified though, is, it's been many years, in fact, I don't even know when it ever was, that the supervisor of this township kept office hours.
Well, yeah, that's,
I mean, with all due respect
Right.
to Bill Lester, he stopped, because he didn't get along with the rest of the board, so.
right.
It's not a new situation, but.
I come in a lot.
I know, thank God. Well, we always,
Not regular,
look
but.
how everyone does now.
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah,
I put in wording in the press release that went out about, maybe expect them to do some office hours, but I think we should have that expectation.
Definitely,
And it seems to have totally gone by the wayside.
yes,
And that's not a bad thing,
right.
but there's work to be done, and we're doing it with everybody.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm agreeing with you. I think that, I don't know, it's like an extra $7,000, what is it for?
Yeah. I mean, maybe somewhere along the line, I don't know, maybe there were a whole, I don't know.
What does this plus 25 mean for like, planning commission chair?
On your budget,
Well, that's the increase from the previous year.
Oh, okay, right.
The chair got.
No, this is
25
last
more.
year's budget.
Oh,
The
No,
chair
they
got-
raised, I'm sorry, go ahead.
the chair got 25 more than the rest of the members.
No, they adjusted certain things last year
Okay.
and left others just to, yeah, and I'm trying to poor deputy treasurer, someone's had it in for him or her for a long time. because-
Although when I looked at your, you know, in our area, I guess you do have to consider
Yeah.
geography, our area is a different animal, but that's about average in the 50th percentile.
Yeah,
Yeah, but, you know, so, the $14.
it's out that it's less than the part-time assistant.
Yeah. Yeah, so what do we do?
Okay, I have something.
Okay.
Good.
And this could be, again, like John has highlighted, and I'm very thankful for it, that we could adopt a budget and then amend it going forward.
Correct.
We have more information. So I would say that the trustees, township trustees, the zoning board of appeal members, the, planning commission members, and the board of review members all make across the board 75. So that'd be, trustees would be up to a whole 25. You can go to Applebee's, okay? Sorry. Parks would be up from 35 to 75. ZBA would be up from 50 to, 75. Board of Review would be from 50 to 75. Planning Commission would stay the same. So everybody would be equal.
Except for the chairperson, really. Right.
Except for the chairperson,
Which I think that
which
is okay. Don't you, or not?
I do. Is there, this is a silly question, I'm learning. Is there a chairperson for like ZBA?
Yes,
Yes.
it should be.
So that would be different.
And I
Thank
know-
you, it's not a silly question. And then for parks, that Jim Searing is their chairperson, correct?
Yep.
So I would say that that would be, should be increased as well, that the chairs all are at 100, trustees and, members be at 75. My other changes would be that the township board recording secretary, the ZBA and the planning commission, we have 50 and 75 and 100.
Right.
That's ridiculous. They
Yep.
should all be at 100. I take my own minutes. I don't use that just because I'm fussy about them. So I'm just doing that on my own time. But if I had to pay somebody to do it, there would
Right.
be no way I could get somebody to take our minutes for under $100 per meeting.
No.
Do the trustees also have an elected salary?
No. Zero.
No.
I don't know if they
That's wrong.
typically, we've
I
been,
tried to
Brenda
figure
and
out my
I are
hourly
working very hard, and I don't know if that's
Well,
a new thing, I don't know.
I planned on Wednesday to readdress the fact that back in November, October, or December, whenever, when we agreed to, have any priests come in to the office when we didn't have a zoning administrator. I'd like to have, again, unanimity, uniformity, that any member of the board that spent time in the office, and this applied to you before you became
Right.
clerk, be given the same hourly rate if they're doing non-board member work.
Right.
Everyone has been, and I think that should be $18 an hour, and because we approved that for Abby and for, Chris back then,
Right.
and I just think, let's have it straight, you know?
Is that the I see you have
And that's not on here.
Okay, got it.
Maybe it should be an item. But if a board member is doing work
Outside of their,
that
Right.
otherwise would be done by an employee or someone hired in temporarily, let's
I'm found. I'm using my phone for the calculator.
just.
Watch
know.
me. Well, if you're not supposed to
I know.
be communicating during an open meeting, calculator only.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. Are you gonna add the 3? Yep. Good idea.
You guys can keep talking.
Well,
It's fun to watch you work.
I wish Jim had, not Jim, I wish Andy hadn't
And
left.
last, yeah.
What's the history of the planning commission secretary getting so much more?
I think they couldn't get somebody to do it. Doesn't Maggie Conklin do it?
Yeah.
And I just think she said, heck no, I'm not gonna do it unless you pay me that, which
It's
is
not like,
legit.
I'm on the planning
job.
commission and the meetings aren't any longer or more verbose
Right.
than anyone.
What did we pay Bertie when she stepped in those couple times? Did they want
That's a
to
good question.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it
For
up.
the whole meeting?
Probably not what it says here.
50?
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's,
Are you
That's
sure?
not enough.
I can double check the invoices, but I know that's what it's, I don't think she got it. I know when I was trustee, and I think I was taking notes, Chris had told me I was taking minutes for board meetings, I could either get paid $50 or I could get paid the hourly of the 20, when I was putting in office hours. So I always just did the office hours, which was, I shouldn't have, but.
are we
So, under. So, here's just a suggestion, again, something that could easily be looked at again. If you add up the elected, salaries from supervisor, treasurer, and clerk, you have $38,969. If we were to promote some equality, and knowing that in the future, we could assign those people additional duties that we would want them to be compensated for. But if we brought the supervisors down to 12.5, the treasurers up to 12.5, and the clerks up to 12.5, which is very modest for the treasurer and clerk increase.
Yeah, very.
It'd be, the total of those would be $37,500. So it would still be at a.
Kind of what I've been thinking all the way along.
And it underscores and illustrates what you said earlier, and we've been saying all along about, it's 5 equals, 5 tiers that serve on the board.
Wait, then we get 12.5 too,
Right,
correct?
well,
I think that's something that we need to look into.
Yeah,
This.
I'll dive deeper, yeah.
I know when my father was working for, it was Manlius, I think he got like $6,000 a year, and that was 15
As a
years
trustee?
ago, as a trustee.
Wow.
You know? And that's a
No
small
wonder no one
township,
wants to do
right?
it, really, across the board. It's hard to get people for those.
It shouldn't be a volunteer position.
I don't think so
No.
anymore. Yeah.
it's too important, and the
Okay.
nature
Yeah.
of everything has
Yeah.
changed, and so are we,
Want to make those adjustments? I don't know.
You wanna make- can we
are we
make-
addressing any of the per diems now?
Do you
Or
wanna
is that
make,
part of what,
That's what
yeah, do you wanna make an motion to?
so we're changing the per diems except the chairs,
to 75,
75.
including trustees?
And then some of the chairs will have to be brought up to 100, like
Right, Jim.
parks and.
Yeah.
he
No
said
one
when
was
I-
hired at Jim.
Yeah. Not that he
No, I
sees
know.
it as a purely volunteer position. And then
Recording
board
sec-
reviews members, recording secretary, bring all that up to 100. That's not something I plan on having somebody do for me, so I wouldn't be drawn from that.
Right.
And then making the elected supervisor, treasurer, and clerk salaries uniform. I don't know. It's only one, just putting it out there.
I think that's a really good
I
idea.
like it.
I like it. I know I don't get to vote, so.
Yeah.
I'm a resident, so.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not
You
supposed to
are.
be commenting now.
If I
I know, but.
If I had a question or comment on the administrative salary, should I do it now or wait?
That's what I wanted to.
Do it now, talk about it now.
Okay. So again, so much of this is historical, so much of this is personal, so much of this goes back to when the clerk and manager really ran this township for
right.
several years. And pay was based on default. been here, it was not about the job. So I'm just throwing out, it doesn't seem right to me that the clerk administrative and the treasurer administrative have such a gap. And if you are gonna make it personal, right now, we're both new to the job,
Right,
so
right, so it's more.
there's no
level,
argument that
yeah.
they're more experienced
Right.
as clerk,
Right,
and,
right.
so, I just,
Yeah.
because that seems like a big gap.
I just have a comment.
Okay.
Lori makes more than I do.
What a job?
I do a lot more.
With or without sex?
Yeah, with or without Sexton.
I do, I don't, I
No,
don't.
no, it'd be her.
Oh, with sex.
With, because isn't section 16?
No, it's not.
No,
It
like
was
6 or
9,000.
7.
It was 9,000.
And it's not in here, yes.
But that's not on top of this. Let me just say that.
So, I know that it's sensitive for you to bring up because it's about your salary. What would, just bring the treasurer administrative up to the 44,793? If we're just looking at, hey, we're in the spirit of being equal here, which is what we're really looking at, things are way out of whack.
That's a $5,153 difference in the two, in their base salaries, without the elected official portion.
So you,
And the fact that, well, they do actually work for it, but they get fixed in on top of that,
Right.
which was not the agreement we voted on.
no, and it's
But we
still.
can't go back, it just, many things like that
We
happen.
can't go back?
You can go back.
Yeah, 'cause it's never been.
Well, maybe we should go back to what we, I don't know,
You can
it's awkward to
definitely
take
go back.
something away from someone.
Yeah.
But
And I also know, being here,
Something different needed.
probably at the end of the week, it'd be like, oh God, how many hours did I work in the cemetery? You forget.
Yeah.
There are days when she's running out almost every day, and there's days and days when she's not.
I would,
She took calls on vacation.
Right,
I would
it's just,
table-
I think it's a subject for a different day, it's complicated.
we can always.
Yeah,
amend.
and then let's wait
Yes,
for
Yeah.
a manager's input too,
yes,
because other townships run cemeteries.
right,
We happen to
Right.
run two, a lot don't run any.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're right.
Thank you.
Good. Good point.
Well, do we make a motion then about these changes?
Well, I think John can,
Oh, it's just a
make
draft,
this,
okay.
if we kind of agree that we'd like
Oh,
to
we can-
see these
right.
changes and the draft budget, right, John? Then that's what we,
Yep.
that's what we vote on at the budget hearing, right?
So supervisor, clerk, treasurer, 12.5
Correct.
for their board elected portion.
Correct.
Trustees go to 75, along with planning commission, ZBA.
Why is it just some random, like, 793? I mean,
It must be the
COLA.
individual.
I mean, you know, like this.
Cost of living increases?
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
They probably did cost of living, correct?
okay, I'm just curious why.
But it, you know, it goes back historically, I guess, you know, Pat Mickelbein and Jane I mean, it's just, you know,
Yeah.
I think personalities are, well, I don't know. I can't speak for sure, so I shouldn't say that, but it's odd.
In our bylaws, though, it says that as.
We don't have
We
that.
don't have
Or
bylaws.
what's the, book that,
The
what's that
policy
called?
manual?
The policy manual.
That's,
That's,
but didn't we vote that,
that's, I just want to clarify that the law overtakes that, correct?
Yes,
I mean, with
yeah,
the
that-
hours and everything.
I'm saying the
yeah.
personnel policy
Okay.
that was drafted by these people
It's,
means nothing.
okay, I just want to make sure that's the case. Yes.
And even the manager affirmed that,
Okay,
right?
we're still.
Something to
That's
work
not
on in the
my
future.
understanding.
I mean,
That's
who
my
does it even apply to? One person?
My
You mean that's because it
understanding,
doesn't
if we're
apply to
gonna
you.
go against something in there, that we just need to amend it. That's what we did with,
The hiring?
the hiring process.
Mm-hmm.
we made an amendment.
On the supervisor?
But we never
Not on the supervisor?
codified a hiring, like the committee thing that was going on before?
I'd have to look back, but I remember we did make an amendment to the personnel policy. It had something to do with hiring.
It has to do with appointing your trustee.
Right, because we did it, in the past, they had done like a committee that would do the, up to board members.
Right.
Like the manager, the supervisor, and another board member that would interview the, applicant and then make a recommendation to the board, where
Which
we
was
wanted to do.
illegal.
Right, correct, it violated.
It was illegal and.
Shortening the list. So, at that point, I know Natalie, maybe, she thought we needed to amend.
Well, she thought we needed a new one, I think.
Of course, I think we all
Throw it
do,
out,
right,
because it was illegal.
but we
too.
don't have a new one right now. So
Yeah.
if we do something that's in direct violation, we need to amend it, is what she thought. And I would say, probably, at least we're covering our bases.
Is any of this though in?
Well, the hours was a direct violation.
The policy was illegal.
Yes,
So
exactly, yeah.
What's
Well, they
wrong?
said they,
why does it matter if you violate?
But how does that change now with what we're doing today?
no, that just was.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I didn't know if it did, I
Okay.
was
Quick
curious.
question, since we're
yeah.
talking about salaries and stuff, did you figure, in your budget with, like Carol's wages and different cost of living increases for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So are people
not.
okay with John putting in our
Yes.
budget the
All right,
changes
so let
that?
me reflect those changes and
Okay.
see the impact.
Okay. What's next?
Sounds good.
Oh, did we,
I'm not,
what did we just,
did we decide this one? I mean,
Which
for
one?
sure, that we're gonna raise that, correct?
well, the admin part.
Okay, all right.
Bring,
Yeah, the admin part, yes,
bring
yes.
these two together.
Okay, that's, yeah.
So we're making them the same amount that the clerk presently is, or
Yes. The treasurer is going up to 4,479.
do we do that plus COLA?
Oh, as you design the new budget, well, you would be adding COLA anyway. So it would be,
Well, not,
right.
well, yeah, I guess, good point. Yeah, COLA's probably already
Because
in.
you're gonna be giving the clerk administrative position COLA. You understand? So I would bring it up to equal, and then you have the cost of living increase.
So equal plus COLA.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. And then this separate resolution that's required will be part of our final budget hearing.
Yeah, it does have to be
Right.
a resolution.
Yeah. And not,
And they'll have to include all the other,
well, I don't know, does it? I mean, this is specifically elected officials.
In their elected capacity, so maybe not the commission?
appointed.
Although, I mean, is there a downside in having two resolutions,
No, I don't think so.
just for clarity, rather than,
Yes, I don't think there's a time. I think it's wiser to err that way than the
Yeah.
other.
I think so.
Okay.
Then it's not just swept into part of the budget approval.
Right.
It's just, here's two resolutions. Okay.
And then just out of curiosity, do we have the elected official pay out on the advertisement to fill the position? Okay. Okay. I looked at it, but I couldn't remember. The supervisor opening, I didn't know.
Oh, right,
the-
no, you said
okay.
elect, no, I was thinking manager.
No, not manager.
Okay. So I believe we can move into
Orange?
the orange,
Okay.
Yep.
which again,
I think this is so funny. I love, nothing like self-deprecating humor. Although it still works.
If you're gonna print on orange paper, don't use an orange highlighter.
But it's just.
Today.
I use orange all the time, my highlighter, it's like, oh, it's orange, I should have
Oh, I
used blue.
see.
But it still shows up. Point is here, this is the budget to actual see today. And it shows the, as I reported earlier, that we're 81,000. Yeah, this is general fund income. Is over budget by 81,000. And that's why I highlighted that. Sorry.
Right.
Okay. The only other variance, that's the one I was looking for. The variance I wanted to report to you on page 2 is in the elections. We're 5,567 over in spending, and that we've already passed a resolution to acknowledge that.
Correct.
Okay.
And then at the department level, as this is divided up, there are, I'm sorry, there is one other. Sorry, page, goes right through the page. The whole goes through the page. But it's the technology, Department 260. We're $691 over, and I know that, well, you tell me if we need to, a resolution or not. IT Wright, who,
Here.
I'm sorry,
The next
tell me
page.
when you're there. Yeah, Department 260 Technology.
Okay.
It's used, the highlighted portion, it's used 104% of its budget.
Mhm.
And that's because we caught up in May. IT Wright had not billed us, like, almost since I've been here, and we've ordered a couple computers and printers, and
Right.
so we caught up.
Okay.
Where I'm going with that is, I think that $104 will probably get erased next month.
Right.
I'm willing to say we don't need a resolution for that that amount, but you can tell me differently.
Because we have a month left, is what
Yes.
you're saying, and that'll, okay.
And we don't normally do this at every board meeting, correct?
Oh, right.
So it's not like you're amending it every month or making, so it could wash out at by year's end.
And I instituted as part of the treasurer's monthly report, doing a broad budget versus
Right.
actual.
Right.
Not
Which is
line
good.
by line,
Right.
but
Right.
just the board and the public should know,
Right.
are we doing better or doing worse than we expected, and why?
But you shouldn't wait till you're in to make amendments.
No, but if there's a
That's correct.
significant, and I don't, Cindy, you might have an opinion on this, I don't know if there's a rule of thumb on percentage or dollar figure where it just should happen immediately. Some townships ignore it till like the budget meeting at the end of the year, and that's not good audit, that's not good.
No.
And
correct.
we've been good,
Yeah.
we did the election as soon as it went over,
Right.
so.
Yeah, you should probably do it quarterly.
Okay.
So that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
And again, something I instituted, even though it's in MTA and in the law, but no one here had ever realized it. It's not that huge a deal, but the quarterly report on investments
Yes,
is a law. We only have one investment right now, but we
but still,
thought of changing that.
right, okay.
So is that the last highlight? I believe so. Yes, except you go to the very bottom, I just highlighted the differences.
Revenues and.
Revenues are at 111% year-to-date, and spending is only at 82%. And I think some of that will rectify itself.
At the end of the month,
Yes.
yes.
That's the budget versus actual. That's the whole book.
This has been really helpful, John.
Good. Well, no,
I
and
really
it's-
appreciate you doing all this.
I hate to say this, it's been helpful to have to go through this.
I'm glad you learned a lot.
Understand your job more than you
Well,
ever thought you would.
Or someone else's job.
Right.
I have a question.
Now I'm just freaking out about ignoring the treasurer's job, but I got time.
Going back, I mean, this is way going back to the very beginning of this whole deal. Now,